Hello there, crafters. This is Madeline from Madeline's Craft Room, and I'm excited to finally be here with you today as we are going to make a card similar to these two, but we are going to use the lovely lipstick pink color. I do apologize for those that were following me. I had hoped to do this the other day and ended up with a tooth emergency of all things. So now I can talk without pain. So let's get going on this card. So first of all, I'm going to show you this particular one because both of these cards showcase this incredible foil, or this paper that has the foil mix on it. And this is the package of 12 by 12 paper called Flowering Foil Specialty Designer Series paper. And basically it has three designs, which is this beautiful one with the flowers, and then that nice shape, don't know what you would call that, kind of like a flower shape. And then this one, which we see in the card that we're going to make. And this particular one actually has silver and the copper together, as well as, well, this one does too with the leaves, and this one is just the silver. But unbelievable ideas and things that you can do with this paper. And this is actually one of the free items that they added to Salabration for the second release. And so it's right in the first page. As you can see, with any purchase of $60, you can choose to get this free. There are lots of other things that you can choose as well. And as of yesterday, they just brought out the third release. And it's pretty exciting because a lot of these things are actually in the annual catalog. Big 12 by 12 designer paper and the laser paper, even a punch and the dies. Anyway, you gotta check that out and let me know. You can go to my website for Madeline's Craft Room, and I can help you with anything that you need, or you could also place the order right online. So I'd be happy to help you with that, but I am so excited to show you just a few things that we can do with this card. Now I'm going to mention that we're going to do the lovely lipstick color, but I'll show you also that you can do this also. This one is Bermuda Bay, and again, just a different effect, but we are basically just coloring in the background white spot. So because I don't want to take too much time on the video just to color, I have colored most of it, and I'm just going to show you how you can do this. And what I have found to be the easiest is to actually the first thing is, I got the wide side. If you're feeling a little hesitant, use the fine side. And what I did is I just went around, first of all, to the edges so that we could define, and then you can just color in. And so sometimes I found it was easier to move the paper so that I could see it a little bit more, but that's all it is basically you're just coloring in. Flip it around again. Hopefully you can see there. And again, you can fill it in once you go around. So just like that. And I have found that this has been quite a relaxing activity, especially with what all has been going on in our world and staying home these days. This is a very relaxing project to do at home, and it has a beautiful effect as well. So again, just go around and around the copper. It's a little bit of spinning around, but I just find it's easier. Maybe it's me with my glasses, I don't know, but I do find that easier for me to do it that way. So just like that. So there, we've used our lovely lipstick blend to complete that. And you can see they actually all have quite a different look. But that's the amazing variety that you can have with this beautiful paper. So what we're going to do is the same thing here. I used Blueberry Bushel. This time I used the lovely lipstick. And so our first thing we're going to do is get our glue, And there's my glue mat here. And I should mention that when you are doing your coloring with the blend, you always need to make sure you have some paper underneath because it does blot through. I thought that looked pretty cool too, just as it is there. But that is the back side. Anyway, just slide it along a little bit around the edges and put it onto our white piece of paper. Just like that. Center it so you can have an even border. That's why I like the glue, is you get a little bit of time to slide around if you need to. Okay, now we need one more side. Now we're going to glue the white, Whisper White, onto the lovely lipstick. And again, we're going to just center this into the middle of the card, just like that. So you can see this is actually quite easy so far. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our small daisy punch, and using the lovely lipstick, we are going to just cut out 3 simple daisies. Now, I didn't stamp these first, I just punched them out, and then we're going to put glue on 2 of them because we're going to now center, and just kind of make sure that when you do it, you can kind of get it in the middle so that you have the full daisy look. Hopefully I'm in the camera there. So do this one as well, just like that. Whoop, let go. And then what I'm using here is these beautiful gold and silver and copper elements, and I just thought that went so well with the beautiful copper in the paper for the center of the daisy. Oops, get on there. Okay, and now we're just going to let that dry for just a minute, because then what we're going to do is do our Thinking of You. And what I have done here ahead of time is I have used the layering oval dies, and I have cut an oval, plain oval with the white, and the scalloped oval in the lovely lipstick. So what we are going to do now is take our lovely lipstick stamp pad. Whoops, helps if we get it not upside down. And then we're going to center this. Hopefully I don't get my head in the camera. Anyway, isn't that gorgeous? And while we quickly got it there, we are going to quickly pick it up, put some clear embossing powder. Like that. And of course we're going to use, I better move my ink, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. And we're just, sorry for the noise, we're just going to heat it up really quickly. And maybe while it's getting hot, I maybe should do the smart thing and put that on my, I feel like I'm fumbling fingers here. There we go. It's kind of small, and so then I've just put a clothespin onto my cutting board. There we go, that looks pretty good. So this way we get the color of the whatever color we're choosing. This time we're using lovely lipstick, and it just adds a little bit of shine. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. Just a little bit of a gloss there. So that's what's nice, that you can use any color of ink that you're using and just dazzle it up a little bit. So now we're going to take some glue. I think that's dry. And we're just going to put a little bit of glue on our oval, and then we're going to layer it in the center of our fancy scallop. And now we are going to use some dimensionals. So again, flip that over, 4 would be plenty. And all we need is one. Put it right in the center of the daisy. I just love these daisies. I have made so many different cards with them, and they're all so different. They're gorgeous. And what I like to do with the daisies is I just kind of curl them up a little bit, just to add a little bit of texture and dimension. So again, like that. Okay, and then we're going to just remove the backs of our dimensionals, hopefully. Fingers. Okay, now this one and this one. There we go. So now we want to make sure that we have enough room for the daisy on the bottom and yet daisy on the top. And I'm going to stand so I can see if that's centering a little bit better. And then all we're going to do is, oh, I should have done it before. Anyway, you can do it now. But when you're doing it, I would recommend you probably do it before we put the dimensional on. But if you can see, I have some beautiful Winka Stella, which just is adding a little bit of sparkle. So that's what you can do here now too, is you can just add your sparkle. So just as much as you want there, just don't get it on the other label. There we go. There we go. So see how easy that was? That foil just dresses it up and makes it look absolutely beautiful. So there is the, oops, there's the blue and there's the pink. So that is the one. Now I am going to show you this other lovely one. This actually is my favorite because I guess I like blue and pink. But this foil is just amazing what you can do. You can see that from this big sheet, all I have done is cut out, and you can see there's some single roses and there's some double roses. So depending on what card, you could definitely use just a single rose. In this card, did use the double rose. And to save time with cutting, I did cut most of it out. And all you do is just move your paper around, and it doesn't have to be exact, but pretty close, because I'm trying not to have too much white trim on there. And if you go around the leaf. Now, one thing that I did when I first did this card, you can see that it has a detail here, and it has one of the little buds here. This bud was much easier to cut around. This one, I did try it, and it really looks scrawny. So I really personally feel you do not need that extra detail. You just can cut right around it. And especially with our sentiment there, you can hardly even know that it was supposed to be there. So there we go. So now, how do we get this color on here? Well, again, in this particular card, I used Blueberry Bushel. In this one, I used the Lovely Lipstick. And what we're going to do is just use a sponge dabbler and get it dark first. And usually I stamp off first, but in this one, I want to have kind of a dark focus in the middle. So I'm going to start in the middle of the flower, and then I'm going to go out. And I found that when I did it with the blue, I actually didn't have to even re-ink it. So actually I'm going to get my silicone out of here for a moment so I can slide it better. Good for gluing, but so there again, this is a personal choice. If you wanted it to be darker, you could again start in the middle and then go out. I'm just going to have a little bit of a light focus of color. And so again, start in the middle and then go out. Got to see which is your leaves and which is your flower. That's the only thing. Don't go over to where the leaf is. All right, I think that looks good. Close up my ink pad. And now I'm going to bring in Pear Pizzazz. And again, another sponge dabbler. And again, this is where you kind of have to be careful. I kind of try to have it darker on the edge, but I don't want it going on the flower. So I kind of hold it more on its side and then go out. So again, so you can see it's actually not that hard to do. This one here can be a little more tricky, and you definitely have to angle it a little more because again, you don't want to go there because we forgot to do the pink on that side. But again, that's all you need. Now to come back and do the lovely lipstick, this part is also pretty simple in that, again, just hold it on its side and go out, and there we go. Got a little more ink there. Let's go a little more in the middle. There we go. So how easy is that? And actually I forgot to do the center of the card with the other one. So I am going to use this particular stamp. And I'm going to just put it right in there like that. So there we go. Because that is pink, you'll always find that the pinks, purples, and the reds always stain a lot more than the other colors. Being a fellow ECE teacher many years ago, that was something we saw all the time. All right, so now we are ready to assemble. So again, we're going to use our lovely lipstick, pink, and where did I put it? It's hiding under my paper here. So the next thing that I did is I took a piece of lovely lipstick, which is a little smaller, and I have embossed it with the beautiful tuft embossing folder. Now you could use really any kind of folder in the back. I just like the elegance, the way the tuft looks, and I thought that would look very pretty for this card. So to assemble this card now, we need our glue. At my glue mat. And this will be for inside. We might as well finish that off while we're got the glue out. So again, whoops, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to move my blue one. And we're just going to center that in there. And now we're going to take this tuft and turn it around, and we're going to put glue around the edge of that, and center that in there, and then we're going to glue this on here. And we're going to put this on here. Yeah, with all that's going on, it's been kind of overwhelming the last few weeks, and it's hard to believe it's almost the end of Salabration. So don't forget, because it's only, what, one more week and it will be gone. And especially with those new things that they've added, it's pretty special. And so you don't want to miss out on those good deals, and especially this lovely floral paper. So the other thing that we are going to do is we are going to make our sentiment, and I am using, where is it here? From Inspiring Iris. says sending hugs, prayers, and lots of love. And I thought, well, that's very applicable for these days, as I've been busy making some cards to send out and encourage people while these times that people are at home and need some encouragement. So with this, we want to just stamp that on there. I love the font on this stamp set, and it's actually really easy to, I usually stamp first and then cut, but I don't know, I just have always found, and maybe because it's clear too, that it just is nice and easy to center and put on there. Give that a quick wash, because again, that's pink. Okay, so it's time now to put our dimensionals on our flowers, and I'm going to put a few big ones on here. Probably one in the middle. I'm going to put a little one over here, and then I'm just going to put two. Well, we can use those guys later. I like to use the edges as well. There we go. Okay, so now time to lift all these guys off of here. And they're going to stick to my fingers, of course. So I hope you guys are finding lots of things to do at home, creating and having fun in the craft room. I've also been using this time to organize my craft room and just get caught up on things. So, all right, here we go. Whoops, not upside down. So we're going to center where we want this. I kind of like it going that way. And then we're going to put this over here a little bit. And there we go. Now, I'm waiting for this to dry a little bit, because one thing that you can see that I did on here too is I, of course, put the Winka Stella. So when you're all done, again, you can take the lovely Winka Stella, and yeah, I found it did leak a little bit. So we'll just go like this. And ideally, it would be nice to let it dry a little bit more, but for a time, and we'll just then go over the whole thing and kind of make it a darker pink. Not cool? Oops, not over. You can see it kind of makes it darker there. Okay. Now we got some nice razzle-dazzle, beautiful sparkle. Just get some of the pink off of there. So we're ready for another time. And there we go. I'm going to grab this one here. So again, there's the blueberry and the lovely lipstick, as well as these two cards here as well. So, hope you enjoy this video today, and hopefully it inspires you to make some cards and have some fun with colors, and enjoy a relaxing time coloring and creating, and see who you can send a card to encourage somebody during these days.